2017 brought Michigan basketball an inspiring Big Ten tournament title. The postseason push started with a plane crash, but included a championship celebration in Washington, D.C., and ended with a frantic Sweet 16 run. Now, John Beilein and the Wolverines embark on a new campaign with a challenging schedule and an earlier-than-usual start to Big Ten play. They're young, but hungry, and ready to defend a crown.
Inside Michigan Basketball is brought to you by Gardner White. You'll overpay anywhere else. And by Jaguar.
What a run it was a year ago, but now Team 102 has different goals and different things that they're ready to try and accomplish during this 2017-18 college basketball season. Hi, everybody. Glad you're back with us for another season of Inside Michigan Basketball. I'm Matt Shepard. Michigan's will use this non-conference schedule, a challenging one that includes UCLA, Texas, LSU, VCU, to get ready to defend their Big Ten tournament championship and make another run in the NCAA tournament. What is also unique about this season is the Big Ten season begins a full month earlier this year. It started on a Saturday afternoon at home in the first and only meeting against Indiana. John Beilein and his staff made sure their guys were ready.
Any teams that we have ever had here, there's times that your team can take off several times a year. Most times it's after a crushing loss. It's after a game where you underperform. North Carolina game is a trampoline for you to jump and be the best we've ever been. One day, 12:30 today.
We got to play hard together. We got to play smart together. We got to make the right reads together. We're going to win this thing together. They in our house. We got to protect this house and let's get it done together.
Hey! There's one team that'll play like they're playing on a minefield, right? They're tentative. They're always looking behind their back, right? Playing scared, being overcautious, right? That's not who we are. But there's another team, and I think me and Coach was on the same wavelength. It's like they're at a trampoline park, right? When they're at the trampoline park, you having fun. I wish y'all could have seen y'all faces, right? Even when you mess up,
we were loudest in the locker room with our defense the other night, right? Because we didn't take it to the floor, right? We did all our talking in the locker room. Tonight we do our talking on the floor. I want you to close your eyes right now. I want you to see red. I will get the 50-50. I will. Get the 50-50. I will. Get the 50-50. I will. Get the 50-50. We miss a shot. Red is running, but Mays runs harder. I will get back on D. I will. Get back on D. I will. Get back on D. I will. Get back on D.
Michigan was dialed in early, draining 4 triples, 2 by freshman Jordan Poole, and both from the exact same spot.
Off a miss, Teske with a rebound, a kick out in transition. Poole for 3, and he nailed it from the left baseline. Second triple of the half for Jordan Poole. He's excited. The Maze rages on its feet.
Poole would lead the way by scoring 11 first-half points, matching a career high already. Fellow freshman Isaiah Livers came off the bench, also provided a spark, and Mo Wagner showed off his passing ability in addition to his scoring and rebounding skills. Michigan led it by 13 at the half. IU had an early 12-1 run over a 3-minute span to get within 5 early in the second half. But then Michigan would counterpunch with an 8-0 spurt highlighted by triples from Duncan Robinson and freshman Eli Brooks.
A hook pass to Robinson. Eyes the 3. Got the 3. Perfect time for Duncan Robinson to snap out of his three-point shooting funk. Around a screen from Wagner. A double team comes. They touch pass it to Brooks. Wide open 3. Bingo. Left corner 3. Eli Brooks knocks it home, and Michigan's lead is back to 13.
Michigan would continue to stay aggressive. Jordan Poole seized the moment with a strong baseline take and then a gut check 3.
Skip pass for Poole, the ball fake. Now he'll stroke the 3. Give me that.
Jordan Poole's night. There's no doubt about it.
Poole would finish with a career-best 19. Michigan's defense held strong, limiting the Hoosiers to 40% shooting. U of M wins the Big Ten opener, 69-55.
I think we did a really good job on the boards. We only allowed them to 7 offensive rebounds, which is really good. They average around 12. We kind of were able to stop their fast break and limit the post touches at the end. And obviously we had great contributions off the bench, so that helps a lot too.
I think we came out of the locker room with really understanding what winning basketball looks like. It was not a friendly, family-friendly film session the other day, just because of the fact that we should know, our veterans should know better, and our rookies, they need to learn quickly. And so you don't get many opportunities to go on the road and play a team like North Carolina, or this is not a do-over with Indiana.
Right.
All right. So it's like we got to win these games, or at least play good basketball all 40. Mm-hmm. That didn't happen Wednesday. That happened on Saturday afternoon.
That's an Indiana team that scored 81 against a really good Duke team. You gave up 51 first-half points at Chapel Hill. What was the difference defensively from one game to the next?
I wish I could explain it. I wish I really could explain it. But we just came out. I'm just telling you, we were on tape delay and almost every situation. And I think that team, the Mohammeds, the Moes, and the Duncans, they had gone to some pretty good places and won. Yeah. And that somehow was paralyzing to us, that atmosphere. And it's a good atmosphere. It's really good. North Carolina's great players, got a great coach. Don't take it wrong, but it's not like some of the places we've played on before where you can't even hear the whole game.
Iowa State, for example.
For example, yeah, Iowa State was like that. And there's some teams in the Big Ten, but I'm not going to give them any credit.
Yeah, right.
But they're really hard to hear.
Yeah.
But we played like that. It was not a good game, but we grew from it. And that's the important thing.
Yeah, your freshmen continue to contribute in big ways. The importance of Jordan Poole, when you get in foul trouble with Charles Matthews, you turn to him and he delivers. How refreshing, and how much does that ease your mind a little bit?
There's three freshmen. They if they can somehow play well enough to get into our top 9 and get in there, I mean, that's huge for us, that we have guys that can. I turn on my bench because 2 years ago, remember when we had the guys go pro, we had lost Karras, we lost Derek. It was like you look over the bench, somebody's not guarding or somebody's having a bad game. All right, get in there, Sean Lonergan. I mean, that's what we were looking at. I love Sean and Doc. Right, I love them. Right now we're looking over, and we got guys over there that I don't think we drop off as much. There may be a little inexperience. That's the way we're going to get them experience. So there's no drop-off in the future. I like their confidence. They got, the poise still has to come. But I feel they believe in themselves and they believe in Michigan. And now they just have to move forward.
Love what Muhammad Ali Abdur-Rahman brought to your team. Let the game come to him. He had a career high in rebounds, but defensively against Robert Johnson, a guy who averages 14 points per game, and yet you're able to get this guy on him for the most part and shut him down, deny him to just about half a dozen points.
Last year he did the same thing to Blackman, right? Our elite player. That's got to be his mindset. Now, I want him to hunt more shots. I want him to be aggressive offensively. But be a defender who can score points. Be a defender who can shoot. Don't be a shooter or a scorer who sometimes plays defense. That's got to be his M.O. That's what will help us win.
Up next, the Big Ten ACC Challenge, as the Wolverines, for the first time ever, ventured into Chapel Hill to take on the defending national champions.
Michigan played its 12th different ACC opponent in the challenge. It was the first time they had ever ventured into the Dean Dome to take on North Carolina. It was a track meet early on, with the Wolverines hitting their first 8 shots, spurred by Mo Wagner's nifty footwork inside and Charles Matthews' outside shooting.
Top of the key, Matthews for 3, buried it as the shot clock expired, and Charles Matthews' 8th triple of the year ties the game at 5. Rahman, a bounce pass for Wagner, blows by Manley, spins in the paint, left-handed leaner over the front of the rim. Tied at 29, and Mo Wagner's unstoppable tonight.
Wagner would lead U of M with his 3rd 20-point performance of the year. North Carolina showed off their speed in transition, though. They ended the first half on a 17-5 run and then opened the second half on a 17-2 spurt to turn a 2-point game into a comfortable 29-point lead with 13 minutes to go. Luke May would cause the biggest issue for Michigan, scoring a game-high 27 points, and Joel Berry added 17. The Tar Heels would cruise to a 15-point win.
You know, it's interesting. In shoot-arounds, I've never seen an opposing coach come into an opposing coach's shoot-around. And yet, Roy Williams did that with you before you got ready to take on the Tar Heels in the Big Ten ACC Challenge. What did you guys talk about?
Yeah, I don't know if he does that regularly. I've never seen it before, too, and I was 100% comfortable with it. I mean, he's a tremendous coach, but he's a tremendous friend of mine. He's been to the last 2 Final Fours, but I don't know where it was. It was like 2 years ago. The Final Four was way out. And so he and I just shared a driver, and we went out together with our wives to watch the game, went in the doors together. It was just like, we just got to have that type of relationship that we talk every now and then. But if I go to recruiting and he's in the bleachers by himself, I'll go sit with him. I probably don't do that with anybody except probably my ex-assistants. Right. So, the probably mutual admiration side, it probably only goes one way. No, but it was neat for him to just walk in and just say, thanks for coming. He probably thinks I can't coach at all after that game.
Well, look, I talked to him before the game. Great admiration, as every coach I talked to, about you and what you deliver. But your team did not deliver that night at Chapel Hill. Was that a bad timing? Nothing to take anything away from North Carolina, the defending national champs, but really tough timing because they're coming off a program low in field goal percentage and three-pointers made in a loss.
Yeah, that was, the Stars were relying on that, where we, I think we still had some travel blues. They're coming out, like we were embarrassed at Chapel Hill. I felt they felt pretty bad about losing the way they lost to Michigan State. And so it was really one of those games where the Stars were lined up and we took the beating, just like Indiana probably took a little bit out. We took a little bit out of Indiana, what happened to us the other day.
Alroe Steel Ironman of the Week, freshman Jordan Poole from Milwaukee. After scoring just 6 on the road at Chapel Hill against North Carolina, he bounced back in his Big Ten opener, scored a career-high 19 points with a career-best 7 field goals made and a career-high 5 triples as well.
Going out there and playing my game, having the confidence is a big key as a freshman, and having the guys have my back and being able to give me the opportunity and having faith in me out there is really big.
When people look at the number of threes attempted and made, they might have a misconception of the type of player you are. I think it's more defining when you can take it and at other times you can step back and hit it. Is that the type of player you are, what you showed today?
Yeah, I'm more of I'll take what you give me. So they were giving me a lot of open shots today, and I was taking them, and obviously I was knocking a couple down. But if you want to kind of close out harder or come out on a fast pace without shuffling your feet, I can go by you, I can pull up. And I could drive to the basket, but I kind of like pick my poison and look how the defenders play me.
How important was it for you to get in a flow early because of Charles's foul trouble?
It was really good. Obviously, when you come off the bench and contribute to a couple of minutes, you got to get in the flow a little bit, but you got to get in faster. But knowing Charles was kind of going to be out for a little bit, I had a little bit more time to calm down, relax, and catch my pace, and everything flowed.
Up next, the women's story, ranked in the top 25 from the very get-go. Stay with us.
Welcome back to Inside Michigan Basketball. On November 16th in Louisville, Kentucky, senior Caitlin Flaherty scored 23 points against the Cardinals to become the program's all-time leading scorer with 2,091 points. Diane Dietz held the previous record for a quarter century. Our Leaders and Best segment is brought to you by Gardner White Furniture.
I've worked so hard to get to this point, and I think scoring is just a reflection of that. It's what I work at all the time, and I think with my body frame, it's kind of hard to believe that I've done that. That's just something to show the people that if you work hard, you can make things happen.
Caitlin continues getting used to change.
She's in a role she's never been in before, where the ball is in her hands the majority of the time. So she's really, okay, when do I score? When do I pass? How do I run the team? What's my voice? So she's continuing to learn. She's continuing to grow.
People look up to me. I think that's a lot different. Coming in as a freshman, I was really quiet, just kind of trying to blend in. But now this year, when you have the sophomores, freshmen asking you questions, and it's just a whole different role, especially as a point guard.
Flaherty is one of the nation's leading scorers. averaging 26 points per game, and she's just over 100 points away from becoming a top 10 scorer in conference history.
The past 3 years have gone by so fast. Even this year has gone by fast so far. And the days seem long, but when you look back at it, it's like, wow, I can't believe it has gone by this fast. So especially this year, I'm just trying to appreciate every day, whether they're good or bad days, trying to live in the moment, because college basketball will be gone next year for me.
But Caitlin is not the only leader on this team. There are 2 other veterans who are key to Michigan's success. Head coach Kim Barnes-Rigo calls junior Hallie Thome a special post player and says senior Jillian Dunson is the enforcer, the hardest working player on defense and at grabbing rebounds.
Then we have 2 freshmen that are really making a large contribution in Haley Brown from Canada. She's doing a great job for us, and Deja Church, a local kid out of Southfield, who is backing up Kate at the point and also running the 2-guard spot. So when you're young and inexperienced, it's a work in progress. Nicole Munger is in the starting lineup, but she doesn't have a tremendous experience from her first couple years, but a little bit, and she's learning a different role now in a starting position.
Barnes-Rigo has led the Wolverines to at least 20 wins in each of her 5 seasons. She and her staff are excited about another marathon season where improvement and meeting expectations are the goals.
It is the life we chose, and it's an unbelievable life. We are fortunate and blessed. We are thankful for the opportunity to be coaches at the University of Michigan and work at this incredible institution and come each and every single day and try to impact the lives of young women.
So if I can talk to my teammates while still running and still be locked in, okay, that takes a little practice.
I always say tired is a state of mind, and act your way into feeling. So there is never a day off. There is never low energy. That's our responsibility, and that's our commitment to our program.
The Wolverines won 5 of 7 games to open the season and have a busy week on tap. They'll make the quick trip to Detroit Mercy on Monday to take on the Titans before hosting Marquette on Thursday and Kent State on Sunday. We'll, of course, have highlights of those games right here on next week's show. For Inside Michigan Basketball, I'm Sarah Van Meter.
Well, this is interesting because you get the bobbleheads throughout college sports and now professional sports, too. Did you ever think you'd have a bobblehead?
No, but I really like it, actually. There's very few things I want attention to myself. Very, very few. That's cool. That's a pretty good thing.
What do you like about it?
Do you have a bobblehead, Matt?
I don't.
I got a bobblehead.
I don't deserve one. You do.
No, I don't deserve one, but I think it's really neat. And with the squirt gun, it was a great moment, right, that hopefully I'll live forever knowing that's how you embrace victory instead of worrying about the next game.
All right, for those who don't know, explain the Super Soaker that took place in Washington, D.C. last year during that Big Ten Tournament Championship.
No, it actually happened in Indianapolis in the first round of the NCAA tournament. And the second round when we beat Louisville.
I got you.
Right?
All right.
So what happened was every game they were killing me with water.
Right.
When we won after the plane accident, they killed me with water. I was thinking of getting a pail and getting them back. So we went through those. We won those 4 games. They killed me with water. I'd be a mess at the end. Now we beat Oklahoma State. They do it again. I got 2 waters trying to get them. So finally Kathleen says, how about we get you a Super Soaker?
Did you know what that was?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. Just want to make sure.
Yeah. And so we got the Super Soaker, and we brought it in. Bob Bland put it in a secret case. We had to get it through security. We got and it's loaded up in there. If we don't beat Louisville, that never comes out. And so we ended up beating them, and I was loaded up and came out, and I fired. I wasn't very good at it. But if we would have beat Oregon, we had 4 Super Soakers waiting to come out with all the assistants ready to get them all. But it didn't happen. Hopefully it will happen in the future.
All right, that's fun for people to have on their desk. Let's talk about Ohio State. A quick turnaround.
Yeah.
You need some practices, but you don't necessarily get it. You go to Ohio State on a quick turnaround after beating Indiana just 2 days earlier. How challenging is that?
This is challenging, but Ohio State plays today too. Ohio State was just out in Portland and playing, so it's apples and apples right now as far as both teams. They're another team like Archie Miller's team in transition with a new coach. They got Kata Bates-Diop back. I haven't watched 1 minute. I'll probably start studying it late tonight and tomorrow morning, and it's like when I was in the Big East, the Big Monday game was always good, but I think we'll really rest tomorrow. We'll have to walk and talk. We'll probably break a sweat on Monday in the shoot-around and try and go get a big road win because it'd be a huge one.
That'll be the first of 2 meetings against the Buckeyes as Ohio State pays a visit to Chrysler Center in the middle of February. Hope you can join us next week for another edition of Inside Michigan Basketball. We'll recap the game against the Buckeyes in Columbus and the game against UCLA at Chrysler Center as the Wolverines dip back into non-conference play. Until then, thanks for watching, everybody, and go Blue.